President, I rise today to support the nomination of Senator Jeff Sessions for Attorney General of the United States. He's a veteran, an outstanding public servant who has worked tirelessly for decades in service of his constituents in Alabama, but really in this body, as a U.S. attorney, as Attorney General of Alabama. He's a good colleague. He's a friend to many of us on both sides of the aisle. He's gracious with his time, his wisdom, his intelligence. And you know, Mr. President, in all nomination processes, there's some twisting of facts that goes on, some even, unfortunately, character attacks. But the twisting of his record and the attacks on Senator Sessions, in my view, have been particularly egregious. So that's why I was very saddened by what happened on the floor of the United States Senate last night. One of our colleagues violated Rule 19. So here's what Rule 19 says. No senator in debate shall, directly or indirectly, by any form of words, impute to another senator or to other senators any conduct or motive unworthy or unbecoming of a U.S. senator. That's the rule. It's been in place for decades. And I don't think you need to be a Harvard law professor to realize that rule was violated last night. Now, Mr. President, I've been in the Senate, like you, for a couple years. Certainly have tried very hard to work with my colleagues, all my colleagues across the aisle, Democrats, Republicans. I have respect for all of them. And I have no problem whatsoever with senators coming down, and you've seen this really in the last week or so, senators coming down to the floor of the Senate to debate their views on nominees for cabinet positions, up or down votes, the merits, the qualification of these nominees. And that's what we should be doing. That's our job. And we're seeing a lot of that here today over the last several weeks. Like the presiding officer, last couple of years I supported some of President Obama's cabinet officials, senior officials, was opposed to others, voted against others. But it's our job to come down here on the merits, on the qualifications. But we certainly can do this in a respectful manner, especially here on the floor of the United States Senate. And we certainly can do this in a way that does not violate Rule 19 by imputing conduct and motives unbecoming of a United States senator. And we can do this in a way, importantly, that's respectful of each other. So for the sake of the Senate, for the sake of the country, I hope we can get back to that tradition that's so important to this body. So let me try to set the record straight on the Senator Sessions, the Jeff Sessions that I know, I've gotten to know over the last 2 years. He certainly has a long, distinguished history of public service. Nobody in this body is denying that. And everybody in this body knows Senator Sessions well. Knows that he is a man of integrity, a man of principle. He will support the laws of the land, and he will be a fierce advocate for the rule of law and defending the Constitution.